All right, so we're doing 3 screens here, 1, 2, and 3. The first thing I do whenever I get to a job like this is I check that obviously they have a pool cage right here. So I check out for my protrusions on this side. So on this, we have a little under an inch. So what I do is automatically in my head, we're gonna need build out here. Now, not only build out for this one, but for all of them to make them aesthetically look okay with each other. So we don't have one that's recessed, and then this one sticks out. We always try to make all of our units look exactly the same, identical all the way around. We're gonna do an inside under header mount here, meaning that this housing is gonna be underneath right here, runs all the way across. So when our installers get here, they're gonna go up into the roof and they're gonna go on our side on our build out. Now, like I said before, we have a little less than an inch right here. So what I'm gonna add on all sides is 1x2 build out to get away from our 1 inch right here. So what this does is I'm gonna add it to this side all the way around, and our housing is gonna be stuck right here, and it's gonna run all the way out. 1 inch out, so it's gonna stick out a little bit, but that gets it away from our handle right here. So automatically I'm gonna need 2, 4, 6 pieces of 1x2 all the way around for every single one of our units around here. I'm gonna go ahead and get our heights all the way up to the bottom of the header. Now the reason we're going to the bottom is just because that's how far our unit's gonna go, all the way up here. So we're gonna have 103 to that right there. And we're gonna have, more than likely with this pitch, it'll be about 101 and a half. Now, usually that's discussed, it was already priorly discussed with the homeowner about a bias. So we're gonna keep it at our biggest one is a 103 on both sides of unit 1. So I'll go to my paper, I'll write 103 on each side. These are trapped units, meaning this unit can't go any farther over on each side because we're going underneath the header. So we have no more room on each side of these units. So I take a 1/2 inch off from my width when I take my width. So the next thing I do is I'm going to take my widths all the way across. We're gonna go with top, middle, and bottom. Now, top, middle, and bottom. This first one is gonna be 159 and a half. We're gonna do our middle one, do wall from wall, 159 and a half as well. And then do our bottom one, 159 and a half. So 159 and a half all the way down, each one. And since they're all the same, I'm gonna take that 1/2 inch off. Obviously what our smallest would be, but since they're all the same, it's gonna have a 159 total. We're gonna have that 1/4 inch taken off from both sides. That gives the installers a little bit of play, so the unit's not just crammed up in there. So the next thing is electrical. I always double check electrical while I'm here, but in this case, we had our electrician come this morning prior to me coming here. So these units, this one's obviously gonna be a motor left. So when this unit sits right here, what the installers can do is they can punch a hole right here, and they're gonna run our cord right up the wall and into our outlet right here. They'll stick this with a grommet. It pretty much just seals it for bugs, and they'll run conduit that runs up here and then right over to our outlet. Same thing on this one, other than it's gonna be a motor right, and they're gonna have it identical where it runs up and into our outlet this way.